Good afternoon, everyone. This is RAND. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, March 25, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a time for change call tomorrow night at after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about the financial structure currently and what's transitioning and how it benefits the people in this country and eventually the world. The choiceless truth of who you are is revealed to be permanently here, permeating everything. Not a thing, and not separate from anything. Gangaji. You want to make sure that you're in a comfortable position with no outside distractions, relaxed into your body, still as you can be, maybe as still as a statue, focused on your breath rising and falling. When we begin to become more and more aware that we're like in this, it really is like a soup of pure energy. And this spiritual energy and consciousness is moving all around us, all the time. So it's all the time. It's not a little bit here, a little bit there. We aren't always aware of it because our minds are so distracted and busy with those all too important things of this physical world. It's only when everything stops from some seemingly random event that we are thrown back to our real selves and can see, feel, and taste the bigger picture. And in a few brief moments, the mind drops its game and we comprehend how divinely perfect everything is. And everything is in energetic form. It's these bodies, the pure consciousness. And on top of it, we're creating all the time. Something. Doesn't mean we're aware of it, but we're always creating. And as we become more aware, we then begin to choose and direct where we want to be, where we want to go. And this is all in the mastership process that we really do choose to experience. And as we master things, our awareness increases and our frequency goes up. The challenge is that we are so distracted while in material physical world that it keeps us from going within. It keeps us from discovering and going through these steps of going deep within, forgiving, letting go, releasing, surrendering, walking into the God that you are, the pure consciousness. And then establishing a deep, eternal, loving relationship with the God that you are, and practicing being in the heart-mind like we do in these meditations. This way we begin to dismantle the ego mind. It will find peace, and it will feel it's no longer needed. And then we master our minds, our thought. So as we master our thoughts, then we are directing clearly what we know, who and what we are. We know that we are omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant beings that never die. And that is the absolute truth, but we've been manipulated so much and so long that we're so attached to the physical world, we don't realize that we're not the physical world. We're the God that's entertaining ourselves in the physical world. We are not of the physical world. And that's discovering this of who and what we are, mastering what I just shared of mastering. We begin to comprehend what this is all about, why we are here, what we are doing. What's the purpose? Purpose is that we enjoy the material physical world. It's a great entertainment. It's a great playground. And while we're playing, we're learning and experiencing. And as we learn, experience, we then become masters. I've shared before that, you do something, you master it. What a lot of us have challenges with is that we usually we will not leave the mastership, we will stay with it. Instead of saying, I've mastered this inside and out, but now I want to master something else. We don't usually do that. We will stay with what is familiar, which is the mastership that we have mastered, whatever it may be. And like this is prime example, we're in material physical life, world. We're in these vessels for a short period of time as the gods that we are. We master, believe it or not, we master this life in the material physical world. But we don't say, I want to master something else. I want to go over here and master and discover the God that I am within this body. I want to master, moving into the heart mind, staying in the heart mind. I want to be able to do those things. I've done this. I've mastered this. You could do something 1,000 times. You're going to master it, but in your eyes you may not think or believe you've mastered it, but you have. So we move from that mastership into what? Who and what we truly are, going within, forgiving, releasing, surrendering on an ongoing basis. Embrace the enlightened ones that we are within. And we master things. We step away from it because we've learned from being in it and we've experienced long enough to say, let's step away from that. Let's step away from the ego mind, all the rest of it, and let's practice being in the heart mind so that we can view unobstructively the material physical life. How the ego mind operates. What does it do? How does it respond? Anyway, when we get angry because we are protecting our ego mind. Now, in heart-mindedness, there's no anger. Okay? There's no revenge. There's none of that exists. Now, this is highly motivational for us to help us move out of what? Ego mind control, material physical world. So then we begin to realize that we are not of the material physical world. We experience it. We go into the body. It's temporary. So since we're not of it, you discertain, so to speak, that you are in a realm or a space of reverence, deep eternal love, peace, tranquility, benevolence, happiness, joy, bliss. That's out of the ego mind in the heart mind. A heart mind is, you could call it the elevator, you can call it the stairway to the God that you are. It's the conduit, it's the connector to the God that you are. And you can see why by being there, feeling it, you become much calmer. Your stress leaves the body, leaves you. Your worry, your concerns, all literally vanish. And a lot of us don't know how to operate in that. Because we've never really had a really good swig of it. So we're uncomfortable with it, and we gravitate back towards material physical world. It's familiar. Why not? This other stuff's unfamiliar. It's kind of scary, weird. I'm not really feeling it, so I'm going to go back over here to the ego mind. And it's a choice. It's neither negative or positive. And this is why many of us end up lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime embracing the material physical world. Because we get so attached to it. In the spiritual life existence, which is our natural state of being, we don't get attached. Doesn't matter what it is, we don't get attached. We may have expectations here and there, but we don't get attached to it. And we manifest it into our lives. We experience it, enjoy it, and then something else comes along. And we manifest that. But we know that this isn't permanent. Okay? Even, let's just put it this way, even say that your body is immortal, you would, and specifically for the reason of being in the heart mind, you would want that because then you could learn as much as you possibly could. You would have much more time to really get it down and master it, and then leave the body. But you're still going to leave the body. It's longer, which is a good thing. And see, this is where you'll hear beings make comments like, well, that's arrogance to want to be immortal. It is arrogance in the ego mind. Most definitely. In the heart mind, there's no arrogance. Okay? It's a big difference. So it's a process that we go through, that we choose to go through. It's not something that we say, oh, I've got to do this. This is what I've got to do. I better start doing it. It's more like that you commit openly and freely because you're transitioning. This civilization was brought into existence because I'll tell you, we've been around for a long time on this planet. We have been around a long time, millions and millions of years, unbeknownst to popular demand. So, doesn't it make sense that all of us have this ability, if you will, where we can choose to refine our stay in these bodies? So one might say, well, we don't have enough time. And that's true because we're limited from the standpoint of how things have been structured when we come into these bodies. So we've got to have more time. And the body is the answer to that. So the body now does not expire. Only you determine when the body expires is when you decide to leave it. Now, it could be, you could look at it and say, it might only be like 500 years, or 1,000, or 2,000, or 3,000. It's up to you. Okay? But as we move into heart-mindedness, and we begin to stay there, in other words, we don't visit it, it's something that we choose to be in all the time. Then, of course, the ego mind then expires. We master our thoughts. Then what? What's after that? That we've done that. Okay? Then we're able for clear consciousness to experience the One. This is the collective consciousness of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. So what's the collective consciousness? The collective consciousness means that no matter what has occurred, will occur throughout this galaxy, throughout this universe, and all connecting universes, and beyond. And all of the material, physical, species, civilization, in the trillions, all manifesting, all evolving, all the philosophers, all the saints, everything, all of it. You have direct access to it whenever you choose. See, this is where you can kind of get a bird's eye view, flying high, zeroing in like a hawk's eyes, right? And you then begin to see the whole picture. Then you learn that you can travel. You don't need the body to travel. You can travel to distant galaxies in a blink of the eye. You use the body. You still go back to the body because you still experience the physical material life because it's your entertainment. Why would we eliminate our entertainment? We wouldn't. So our thing is to expand and explore and to discover many things further out from where we have been. Anybody that believes that we're going to stay stymied on this planet for an eternity has been truly blinded. Everything, all life progresses. It's got to progress. It can't be stymied and be literally suppressed in one area. Because if it is too long, it will not be. So our thing is to progress way beyond where we've ever been. And see these steps that we're taking and bringing in a body that can last as long as you choose it to be. As long as you choose to be in it. Gives us a much broader comprehension because we no longer will be... See, because when we leave the body, we are electrified. Let's put it that way. So we lose memory really fast. When we enter the body, the same thing happens. And we lose our memory fast. So our handicap is amnesia. So that's our handicap. Now, what if we changed things? What if we shifted and we were able to stay in the body as long as we choose without losing our memories? That is magnificent. Because then we don't lose our memories because we're not changing bodies every, couple hundred years. We're coming in, we're experiencing, we're learning, we're advancing, we're creating way beyond what we have been doing. And this is from heart-mindedness, because the ego mind no longer is there. So as you plug in, and you're able to travel anywhere that you would like to. So it's kind of like you plug in, you look, and you go, I want to go there. So you're there. Like, bink, bink. And so you experience that. Now remember, you're in your true form, your God form, not your physical form, not your organic body, suit, bones and blood, whatever, however you want to describe it. You're in your natural state of being, which is the God that you are. It's very fascinating because this is where we are going. You can see how we've, there's been certain things that have been thrown in the mix that have caused us to be almost go in reverse for a very long time. Now, enough of us have become aware on this planet to a certain extent to start that we're going to deeply go within. We're going to progress. We're going to become heart-minded beings, and because that means we have mastered the ego mind and our thoughts. So we will always be in heart-mindedness, not getting into it or practicing being in it. We will get to the point of being in it all the time, being from heart-mindedness. This is progression. This is what we're about. It is in our natural state to just, like be on this planet year after year, century after century, millennia after millennia, and basically stay. You know what I mean? Stay. Yeah, there's things that kind of shift and change a little bit here and there. But for the most part, we just stay. And a lot of us get antsy. We don't really know why, but we get antsy. It says, there's got to be something more than this. Not that I'm not super grateful for it, but what? And this is where people get inquisitive, which is a good thing. You say, where am I going? You'll have people who say they've accomplished everything they wanted to. You got all this, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. Now what do I do? Right? See, this is why you don't know certain beings on this planet. They don't have names because they don't show themselves ever. And they get to a point where they don't know what to do. They basically, to them, they've done everything. So what happens? It shifts into an area of murkiness where the entertainment is control, power, money, control, and power, and it goes way up. Manipulation, deception. Because they have to be entertained, and they're bored with everything because they're doing it and they've come, and now they want to do something else. So what do? Unfortunately, they shift into lower frequency, not higher, lower. Isn't that amazing? They go into lower frequency, which is more what? Deception, manipulation, greed, all of that stuff. We all know it. We're not foreign. We're not foreign to any of that. So the picture that I have painted is that we all have this choice, and I believe that the majority of us will take the choice of going within, discovering who and what we are, surrendering, forgiving, letting go, all the time. You don't just let go and that's it. We are letting go and surrendering all the time. And we're moving more and more into our natural state of being. All of us have been out of our natural state of being for a really long time. Is that what we do? Most things we are comfortable with. Why? Because we've done it for so many lifetimes. It's just automatic, right? We just do it. We're so used to doing it, and in some cases it feels comfortable. It doesn't feel obtrusive, so to speak. So what we do is that we do it. We just keep doing it. And then every now and then, some of us will say, I'm going to, hey, wish all you well. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go within. I've all this stuff here, I've enjoyed it. I'm grateful for it. But now it's time I move over here. I'm going to my natural state of being. Bliss, joy, happiness, believe it or not, is our natural state of being. This other stuff is not at all. That's ego-mind natural. That's the ego-mind's natural state of being, not ours. And this is how we get twisted and caught up in it. But our natural state is high, very high level of vibrational frequency, acoustics, and being at peace all the time. Tremendously powerful, but really not having to exercise it much at all. Because we know that we create everything. You got enemies, you created them. That's it, period. You have a rough life, you created it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that's a negative, because it may be that's what you specifically are wanting to learn. And it doesn't mean you're consciously aware of that, because it's all temporary. Okay? It's not going to happen for the next 100,000 years, because it's temporary. It's done. In fact, the only thing that isn't temporary is the gods that we truly are in these bodies. That's it. It's the only thing that's not temporary. Everything that emulates out from it, that emanates. We influence. We influence everything. We influence this planet. We influence all the nature. We influence everything. We influence ourselves. And we're on this constant process of wanting to learn. Because we're always learning. I don't care if you're right now at this very moment 100 years old. You're going to always learn. You're never going to, in physical material life, we always learn. We always experience. Doesn't matter if it's 2,000 years or 20,000 years. We're going to always be experiencing, and we're going to always be learning. We will always continue to go into higher and higher and higher levels of divine perfection. But the transition of the full liberation of this planet is in deep swing. Why is it? Why is it? Because we have decided it to be so. And when I mean we, I mean the gods and the collective consciousness. It's time for the planet to liberate. And that's what's happening. And eventually, each one of us will be our own governance. Say, we won't, let's put it this way, we will be our own leaders. We will not be led. We will, and we will experience and learn by becoming our own leaders. We will lead ourselves. We will guide ourselves to the gods that we are. We won't need to have something influence us and to direct us. Because after all, we are the God. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return and close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath rising and falling. What area of your life do you most need to create something completely new? Often people get hung up on avoiding the material world because they assume it is not spiritual. Yet, how will you feel when you follow through and complete that one task that you are avoiding doing? This is about being at peace with yourself and your life as it is. Do that one thing today that you've been avoiding doing. This will allow you to be a new being whose mind is calm, bright, and completely at ease. Do not wait. Do that one thing that will put your mind at ease right now. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, the following morning. We will return here Wednesday, March 26, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call, and after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our time for change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you, nor outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.